guys, it's Aaron here. Now, if you've had a problem with your middle back, just in here, you've got this niggling pain, you want to crack it, you want to do something, you can't seem to relieve it. Well, I'm going to show you some exercises today to help relieve that pain, the possible causes and how we can prevent it. So often what happens is, just through sitting in a chair in an office, we tend to slightly round our back and then our muscles become a little bit stretched, and then also you get a little bit of tightness in here. And what happens over time is the spine becomes slightly curved more than normal, and then we often might get little things called subluxations where the vertebrae is not quite in place. So it's not actually that the muscles are tight, it's just the fact that the muscles are tightening around that area for extra protection. So what we need to do is, first of all, we want to loosen up these areas around here. So the best thing to do is to start off and get yourself a foam roller. And I'm just going to get out my trusty little balls. Now, first of all, it doesn't actually matter what type of foam roller you've got, but the point is we want to lie on our foam roller on that point that is quite tight, and we want to initially just start to reach over, roll a little bit forward and back, just massaging that area, reaching behind, little rolls, breathing. And once you've loosened that area up a little bit, you can cross your arms, chin in, and start to roll. And sometimes if you've loosened those muscles up enough, you'll actually get a couple little pops in that lower back. But if you haven't got those pops yet, not to worry, we've got another method. So just take my ball off my little dog here. So what we want to do is we want to get something like a ball, tennis ball. This is actually a specific ball you can roll on. It's not that hard. And I get that spot that's tight, excuse me little fella, and I start to just rub around that area here. You can see that Teddy's right into back work and fixing backs. He's trying to help me there, but I might just step him out of the way for a little bit. Sorry, mate. So we rub those areas on the spine, and if it's hurting too much, you can always get a softer ball. Just enough to get in there a little bit, rub it around, and try and loosen those muscles up. Now once the muscles are really loose, then you can go back to your foam roller again. And from this position here, start rolling and then coming up slowly. Don't go into the lower back area, just into the lower part of the thoracic area, and roll. So that's part one of fixing the issue. The next part of the issue is often if we've been contracted forward for a long time, these muscles actually become stretched and slightly weak. And these muscles at the front become slightly tighter. So I'm exaggerating it here, but you can imagine older people or old ladies, they tend to sort of walk like this. They've got a very shrunken chest, neck's down. So this is the area in here that's getting tight. So a couple of exercises that we can do there is first, just arms out, bend the hips slightly, and pull your arms back, and then down. And keep moving them. So I find that moving stretches are better than just holding it there, because you're teaching the muscle that it can move and stretch in that position. We can also go from here, pull the shoulders up, back and down. At the same time, we want to make sure that we have our head in a neutral position. So we don't want to have it leaning forward, we want to have it up and chin slightly tucked in. So from this position again, rolling the shoulders back, flexing all these muscles in the back. And then we can start to add some specific drills which we can do each day. I like to do them just in the morning when you're getting out of the shower or getting dressed. And it's as simple as putting one hand behind the back, the other on your head, and pulling against them. Holding that motion for 20 to 30 seconds, and then changing. Then find a door, a pole or something and start to elongate this area here. So we don't want to just crank it by turning it. We want to almost think about pulling the arm out of the socket and loosening this area right in here. It's often the pectoralis minor that becomes quite contracted and tight in here. So the other thing is, whenever you find yourself at that desk and you've started to got that little bit of roundness there, instantly start to sit in the chair correctly. Put your bottom to the back of the chair, sit up correctly and try to get your head in a neutral position. Because often the fact that we're looking at our mobile phones a lot these days, text neck they call it from here, the head becomes heavy, the neck becomes tired, and then we start to slouch even more. So a couple of things you can do if you're looking at your mobile phone for a long time: hold it up higher, put it on a little tripod, put it on a higher desk or something, and that'll definitely help. Now, I'm just going to stop the video for a second and I'll be back because I just want to finish off with some exercises for helping you with the neck mobility as well. Because the upper part of the neck and the thoracic are really connected. We want to loosen and mobilise all those areas of the spine. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Teddy's gone on a lunch break, so I've got a good chance to show you a little bit of this. So for our neck, we want to get a towel and we want to just roll it up long ways. And we want to place it behind the neck and tuck your chin in a little bit. Now we're just placing just a little bit of pressure on the back of the neck, and then we're starting to move back. Just gently starting to mobilise the vertebrae in the neck. We can also do that to the side. And I recommend doing about a minute of these. Now while we're doing it, we also need to just make sure that we're pulling the shoulders back and we're not in that rounded position here, because we don't want to be just cranking the neck here. So nice posture. You can often just sit down, chin in. So you're going to find that this will also start mobilising that neck. Over time, you'll see that this little lump here, if you have one, will start to disappear. But the main thing is we need to start moving in the opposite direction. So as you can see, every day, it's very easy bending forward, leaning forward, but not often are we actually doing the opposite movement where we're reaching back. So not only does the chest become contracted, but the whole abdominals, hip flexors, and everything, and then ends up tightening us up. So simple exercise, reaching behind, flexing the bottom. Do our behind here, shoulders back, some foam rolling, and hopefully that'll give you some relief. So give that a try. It's not a quick fix. It'll definitely help you improve after 1 or 2 sessions. If you have any pain, give yourself a little bit of a rest and ease into it. But generally, if you do this for a week, give yourself a couple of days rest in between. I guarantee within 7 days, your back's going to feel a lot better. You hopefully will not have any of that niggling pain where you need to crack anymore. So leave your results in the comments, and I hope you've learned something today. Talk to you again soon.